Well, what a week in footy it was, KG. Let's start off with the power. Mark Williams, of course, coached his last game.
Yes.
Friday night against Collingwood. Unfortunate they lost. Matty Primus now into the coach's seat for the next 7 games. How do you see it?
Well, I'm delighted for Matty Primus. Disappointed for Chocco, the way that whole thing unfolded, the way it was handled was poor. But look, getting on to Matty Primus, he's got an opportunity now in the next 7 weeks. He's been the assistant coach. He's been the former captain. The players love him. And here's a golden opportunity for Matthew Primus now to show what he can do as senior coach. And I hope he does extremely well. And look, he must be a big chance to get the job at the end of the year.
I know you don't like hypotheticals, but
No.
let's say at the end of 7 weeks, Matty Primus says, no, look, I've made a mistake. I don't think I'm ready to do this, or it's not the job I want right now. Who would you put in the seat?
Oh, gee, that's a tough call. There are a lot of candidates around the place. There's big talk about former Adelaide boy Brett Sanderson, who is now with the Geelong Cats, and Mark Thompson, the coach of Geelong, made the point last week in the Melbourne Press that when he vacates the seat, that young Sanderson is the next man to do the job. So you'd have to look at him. You'd have to look at Brendan Lane, I guess, who has been at the Port Adelaide Football Club. You'd have to search far and wide. Would you talk to a Mickey Malthouse? He'd probably be out of the range financially, but hey, you would talk to everybody to make certain that the club got the best coach.
Well, what about Todd Viney?
No question.
I just think he's in a good spot, Coach.
Todd Viney, Mark Bickley, all those blokes you would talk to.
Todd's got a bit more experience than Bix, and I see Rue touched on Bickley today in the paper for different reasons, but Todd Viney, I think he's just got a wealth of experience.
No doubt about that.
He's ready to go, I think.
There are big raps about him coming out of the Adelaide Footy Club. Look, they would talk to a dozen people just to sort of get a feel as to who would be keen, who's out there. It's a huge task for them because they didn't get this last one right. There's no way known they wanted to reappoint Mark Williams last year, and they thought he'd walk away and come back to bottom right on the bum.
Yeah, it hasn't been handled too well. Matty Primus, hope he has a great 7 weeks, Cage. I'd like to see Matty go on with it, so he could be the man. Now, you bounced in today, Cage. Crows, 22-point winners. We're in the 8. We're in the 8. I tell you right now, General, we are in the 8.
Well, we've won our last 3. Admittedly, we haven't beaten anybody of note, but it's the way they've done it.
Jeez, you've calmed down since this morning.
I'm just saying that it's the way the Crows have done this that I like about it. They're starting to get players back. There's Burton, there's McLeod, there's Bock, all available. Suddenly they're getting their numbers so far as players' availability is concerned. I like the way they're playing. Very impressed. And don't be surprised. Don't be at all surprised, General, if they don't knock off the Cats at Amy Stadium on Friday. Now, look,
you're off to Disneyland tomorrow?
No, admittedly, the Cats are the best side in the competition, but they're not playing with the same authority at the moment that they did in the early part of the year. So it's at Amy Stadium. They're always a chance at home. I tell you what, it'll be a huge game.
Well, they just got over Hawthorn on the weekend, and Hawthorn are playing pretty good footy, so I don't think it's too bad. Well, let's have a look. They've got to win 5 of their next 7, Cage. Geelong, St Kilda, Collingwood, Bulldogs, and Richmond and a couple others, but they're the top 4 that they've got to get over. Well, couldn't get over them last year, beat Collingwood in the first round, so they haven't beaten them, and I know they're at home. What makes you think that they're going to get those games?
You'd concede the Collingwood game, that's at the MCG, but the other 3, like Friday night, they play the Cats at home, they play St Kilda at home, and they play the Western Bulldogs at home. I'll repeat myself, they're always a chance at home. If those games were played somewhere else, then the odds swing enormously the other way. But the 3 games are at home.
Crows to beat Geelong at Amy on Friday night.
Yep, mark my words, gentlemen. You've heard it first from KG.
I heard it first from KG. Heard a lot from you this year.
I know. Not much has turned out to be right either.
All right, that's it for us, mate.
Bye.